Let me introduce you to a very interesting case study on strategy. The topic is the Huffington Post. If you haven't heard about it, the Huffington Post is an online news publication, very popular, that started in the United States and is now growing internationally. But let's first start with Arianna Huffington. Arianna Huffington is an American journalist. She is originally from Greece, but she moved to the United States in the 1980s. She's a very smart lady. She studied at Cambridge in the UK and is a very dynamic journalist. And Arianna came up with a very interesting idea, and is that there are a lot of bloggers out there who are producing a tremendous amount of commentary on news events. Some of them are popular and have an important following, others not so much. So she herself was an active blogger. So she came up with the idea of creating an online publication that would aggregate the production of a lot of bloggers. And she got together with an associate, and they came up with $1 million, which is the amount that they calculated was required to set up this publication. And they created what is called the Huffington Post. The Huffington Post has been very well received. It was originally created in 2005, has grown tremendously in readership, and now has become really a collection of publications. It has a dedicated site for New York City. It has another dedicated site for Chicago in the United States. It now has a French edition, and in June of 2012, it started a Spanish version for Spain. And in May of 2012, the Huffington Post was acquired by AOL. AOL paid $350 million for the Huffington Post to be merged with their operations. Of course, Arianna Huffington continues in her position with the Huffington Post, but now has the resources of AOL. So, as you can see, the strategy behind the creation and the launching and the operation of the Huffington Post is something very interesting, worthy of a lot of discussion. Harvard University has a very famous collection of case studies, and they wrote one case study for the Huffington Post. And of course, we will use the Harvard write-up as the basis for the discussion of the Huffington Post case. Of course, we have to keep in mind that there are certain developments that are not acknowledged in the Harvard case because they are very recent. Like, for example, the internationalization of the Huffington Post to France and to Spain, and the acquisition of the Huffington Post by AOL. But we can complement that. The acquisition is discussed by Charlie Rose, who is a famous journalist, TV journalist in the U.S., who interviews regularly leading personalities. And he has an online interview with Arianna Huffington that provides a lot of background on the reasons for the merger with AOL.
The Huffington Post was created 6 years ago with an investment of $1 million. It was announced last week that the company would be purchased by AOL for $315 million. The deal represents a bold bet on the future of online news. The two companies say that together they will attract nearly 120 million unique monthly visitors in the U.S. alone. Joining me now, Arianna Huffington. She is the co-founder and editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post, and Tim Armstrong. He is the chairman and CEO of AOL. Welcome. Great to see you.
Thank you.
So tell me how this happened.
Well, it started actually in November at the Quadrangle Conference. Tim was speaking, and I heard him talk very honestly about the strength.
Well, as you can see, this interview is very engaging, very interesting, and provides a lot of background on that strategic move of merging the Huffington Post with AOL. So as you can see, we have a lot of material. This is a very interesting case, worthy of a lot of analysis, a lot of research, and very productive discussions.